Welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Serpent, and we're going to be talking about everything to do with the latest news on XRP. We're also going to be kicking off today. We're talking about a very interesting article about what cryptocurrencies will look like in 50 years' time, according to experts. I find this really fascinating, that we talk about so far in advance, but I'll give you a very quick rundown of what they think. They think that when, by the time we get to the year 2071, that the dollar will have more in common with a crypto than with silver or gold. And I think that there is no doubt for the longevity of encrypted algorithms as stores of value and media of exchange, that will be the case. And so it's really fascinating, because it does really align with the XRP's mission of instant liquidity. And so I want to kick off today by saying, what do you guys think about, where is crypto going to be by 2071, and do you think it will take over? I find it a really, really fascinating question, and I look forward to hear what you guys have to say about it. Now, when we look at analysts and what they're saying at the moment, XRP was trading at 68 cents with a market capitalization of 31.75 billion. At the time of writing, an immediate support level would be found at 54, but obviously the opposite would be to go to 80 cents. I think that's quite a realistic goal at the moment that has been set. So very good from that analyst. Now, this is quite controversial. Owners of XRP and Ether are the most educated, according to the BIS research report. Now, this gets quite... I think this is quite interesting as an article. I don't know how they determine, what kind of education or define educated even. But I mean, they're saying here that, this current research study that was done is that Ethereum and XRP holders are the most educated. I don't know where this has come from, but I find things like this quite controversial. I don't think it adds value to XRP holders or XRP or Ethereum in saying that. But it is interesting, it was quite an in-depth study that took place. So we'll keep an eye out on that. So from a timing perspective, we do talk about, the longevity, where we've come from, where we went in 2017, then where we went in, that January 2018, where we are today and where we're going. It's going to be quite a ride, and I've really, really enjoyed the journey so far, like the journey that I've had in crypto. And I know some of you are new to the channel, but I literally started the channel because I couldn't find videos that were 10 to 12 minutes. I used to always get really frustrated with 40-minute videos. So I decided, to do something about it, and here we are. But I've really enjoyed the journey so far that we're on. Now, I want to take you to something that, seems like, a billion years ago, but it was only 21 years ago. This was on the Moneybox website. Amazon, Ponzi scheme or the Walmart of the web? I mean, look at Amazon today and look at this article. I mean, this is a clear sign. When people don't understand something, they will knock it back and knock it back and knock it back. I mean, can you imagine going up to the streets today and saying, hey, do you think Amazon is a Ponzi scheme? I mean, you would be looked at like, who are you? I mean, this is what we're talking about here, right? In 2021, we are asking these questions of the crypto industry. I see comments saying, oh, no, VeChain's a scam. Like, you are these people. You are that article. Those naysayers. That's who you are. You're literally that article coming soon. So I like the way this chart has been formed, and what we talk about here. Could we drop down a little bit before we go back up to 76 and beyond? I think so. And looking at today's data, and we'll go into Atani in a moment. But I think this is the kind of formation that we can potentially build. And, we're looking at the moment, we're seeing 80 cents at the moment as the next target. But we will potentially drop a little bit before we continue to rally up. So be on the lookout for that. And I really like this quote, XRP is an asset that can be used for settlement. It's kind of like gold that can instantly teleport around the world. I love that. Let's jump into Atani and let's see what Atani is telling us today. Okay, so we're inside Atani at the moment, and we're looking for some indicators and what is the story that they're telling us, right? So we're sitting at 67 cents at the time of making this, 0.56% down. We've got all of them at the moment are, compared to yesterday, yesterday was a much greener day, but we're looking at the moment. But on the bigger picture, it is still bullish on the MACD. and you can tell, in fact, the gap is actually widening, so it's actually going more towards a. And don't get flustered by a little bit of downtrend for what is ultimately an uptrend. Now we can see on the hourly that we have dipped. We were at 70 and now we're sitting at 67, and we're actually outside of the Bollinger Band at the moment as we speak. But that is to be expected. Now, when we look at the 4 hour, the 4 hours are about to touch, and they probably will touch and then come back. And on the 6 hour, we're still bullish. On the 12 hour, we're still bullish. But I think a potential 59 cents, 59, maybe perhaps even a little bit lower, 55, it could be on the horizon. So be on the lookout for that, because from an indicator point of view, this is what is signaling. And I know that sometimes we don't want to hear this stuff, but that's what it looks like, right? Because we gotta look at just how strong the 1 hour is at the moment, and that is pretty powerful stuff. And then when we look at the 4 hour, this is sort of where the sort of pattern that we got. So could we have another $30,000 Bitcoin coming up? Possibly. We could potentially have another. We could potentially have another 30,000 Bitcoin coming up, and so we need to be on the lookout for that and just keep an eye out on this. But at the moment, from the indicator's point of view, it is signaling we're going to go down before we go up. So we do have to keep a very, very, very close eye on that. Let's jump into some charts. Let's see what they tell us. Okay, so kicking off the charts, when we look at this, right, we got major support at 63 to 57, and we do have even bigger support at the 50 cents mark. And I don't think we're going to fall to those levels, but we want to make sure that we're aware of what these levels are, because at the end of the day, it could come. Now, the major resistance that we need to break is 78, and we've not gone anywhere near that so far. Once we break out of that, the next target is 90, and then the second one after that is $1. Further to that is the $1.17, and these are all major support levels that we need to break. So the journey towards $1.30 and beyond is it has some hurdles in it, and I want you guys to remember this. Maybe even take a screenshot of it, and it's really, really important to acknowledge this, because we have some resistance that needs to be broken, but once we start to break these ones here, then the rest should all come tumbling down one after another. Another way to look at it is, at the moment, is that this breakout and pullback bounce that we got, but that there would only end at about 62, maybe 61, and then retrace back to 63, and then kick us off again into the 89s and beyond. So again, be on the lookout for this, because whichever way we look at it, it's the targets at the moment. If you're a day trader, we got 13% coming, 37% coming, and then 60% coming. Just from a support level, right? So the traditional psychological levels, which are very, very important. That $1.11 is a very, very important psychological level, and then from here, so obviously we got a reaction at 69 cents, which we haven't broken out of. We've got 59 cents as another support line. That one there, I think, is a bit more realistic, hitting that and then bouncing off. Looking at it right now, I think, going towards $1.74, that $1.74 will play a major resistance role. So we do have to keep a very, very close eye on this one. Now, remember, I showed you guys this one yesterday, and what's really important to look out here is that the falling wedge does go towards the 40 cents. And I know that you have asked for this question, and do I think that we're going to go to as low as 40? I know we're a bit divided at the moment, right? Like, will we, won't we? It all depends on how far down Bitcoin goes, right? So never say never, because at the end of the day, this formation does end at around that 40 cents mark. But wow, having an opportunity to accumulate more at 40 cents, I mean, that sounds like a pretty good plan to me. And again, it's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. But, we do need to look out for this, right? Now, something else that could be on the horizon is a Bitcoin rise back to 42,000. So that there is something really important that we need to keep an eye on, because this will determine a lot of things that are going on at the moment. And of course, we still have the pending SEC case. Now, to finish today's episode, nothing changes, like the target of $3.66 and then $14 towards the end of the year, I think are still more than extremely achievable. And that's based on my own research. And I genuinely believe that we will see these numbers in 2021. Now, if you did learn something new today, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. As always, thank you, and I look forward to see you on the next one.